Bum 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 boo bum. Hi, welcome along again to another drum lessons with Mr. Rickman. That's me. Right, ignore what's on here for a second. Our lesson today concerns a thing called the drag. Do you know what a drag is? I don't know what you said because this is a video. I can't see you or hear you. A drag is a rudiment. It's a pattern of 3 notes, right? And the last one is the important one. So let's make that a left hand on the snare drum. There's our note, right? Now we're going to make that note seem a little bit more interesting by using our other hand to play a little quick double just before it. So here's our note. Here it is with 2 little tiddlers before it. That is a drag. So the first 2 notes should be small and very close together and pressed right up against that. You do not want... That's just too separate. This has to be squished up. Now look how I use my hands there. They kind of move together to come up, but then this fella just comes down first. But this one's on his way. So let's practice a few of those. First of all, we'll do right hand coming down first. Right, right, left. R-r-l. Let's do a bunch of them. Right, right, left. Da-da-da. Go. There we go. The other version would be just reversed, so the little tiddlers are with the left hand, and then the right comes home to finish it off. La-la-ra. Left, left, right. Let's do a few of those. La-la-ra. Here we go. There you have it. Let's do one tiny fancy version before we move on. We'll do one of each. So we'll do right hand coming down first, and then left hand coming down first. R-r-l, l-l-r. Try saying that fast. R-r-l, l-l-r, r-r-l, l-l-r, r-r-l, l-l-r, r-r-l, l-l-r. There you go. Let's do a bunch of that. Right hand first. Diddy-dom. Here we go. There you have it. If you keep it just on the snare drum, it sounds a bit marching, drumming flavoured. Very marching sounding. But the main part of this lesson is I want to incorporate it into this thing. What is this thing? Do you know what this is called? This is your basic 8-beat. Okay, if you don't know what that is, then it's this. Bass drums at the bottom, cymbal at the top, snare drums in the middle. So this is your right hand and right foot, or left if you're a lefty. So it's right side, then a ting, then a both hands, then a ting, and then the second half's the same as the first half. Please make sure you are reasonably happy with playing that before you watch any more of this. So, the 8-beat. Bit boring by itself. Pretty groovy. Pretty repetitive. Now, we are interested in the snare drums. let's leave this one normal and we'll do a bit of fun business with the end one. I'm going to write a drag just before it. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you at the start. That's what a drag looks like when it's written down. See that? The big notes at the end, the two little tiddlers are before it, written all small and tied on to the big note. Da-da-da. That's what it is. And we're going to stick one of those before our final snare drum. So here's our little two tiddlers. Boom, boom. Tied on. But what do you play those two little tiddlers on? The answer is, of course, anything you want. Here's me playing this, and I'll play everything on just cymbal, snare, and bass. Okay? Sounds like this. Now, because I've got both my hands very busy here, I'm going to have to bin this cymbal. But I don't think we'll miss it because the cymbal isn't a crucial part of this anyway. Oh, that's all right, that's interesting, that's okay. But we can do more. We can do more with it without having to learn anymore. Here's how we do that. The drag, the drag wants to be two little left hands, I think, because your right hand is ready to arrive there. So we'll stick the little lefts before it. Plus the left hand's doing nothing in this moment here. We are concentrating on the version of this, or reverse it if you're lefty. And I'm going to change what drum I put the drag on. Drag on. There's a tom, you see. You may have noticed something slightly interesting happening there. Because I'm going lulla, my left hand is happy to lulla on the high tom, kind of on the middle tom, but I'm starting to get in my own way a bit. And on the low tom, I had to scrunch under, which isn't the end of the world. But this is why we learn rudiments righty and lefty, because I think if I'm using the low tom, this wants to be r-r-l rather than l-l-r. It's a bit of work for the right hand, but it saves me having to bunch up and cross myself over and potentially whack me knuckles with my drumstick, which is precisely zero fun. Now, if you're going slowly, this should be okay as written. So, let's do a few of those. There's not really going to be a huge amount of play along with me in this video because it's kind of only one job I'm getting you to do. I'll just show you the idea. Practice it at your own careful speed. Right, so slow speed, we'll do this, but I'm going to go r-r-l on the low, low snare. Here's the whole thing. 3 and 4 and. Now that's fair enough, that's all right. If you want to go any quicker, you might struggle to get your right hand to do all of these cymbals and the da-da, and then get back. Yeah, that's a lot of work. have to abandon this symbol altogether. Da da ja da dum. Look at that. Just to give you that little bit of space to get the right hand ready. If you're going slowly, you don't need to miss that out. But at the faster speeds, you won't really miss it. Actually quite cool, because leaving that gap creates a bit of negative space, which means all of a sudden your ear is getting nothing, so it's like, what's going on? What's happening? And then when it's all searching for music, it gets hit with bugada, cool little thing. So, there is the basic concept of what I'm teaching you today. You can put a drag in a drum beat. You can put it at any point on any drum. Please experiment. I'll tell you about a couple more variations, but it's just the same idea. Here's a couple of things to explore. Maybe, this is a cool one. Let's get our little symbol back in there. Now the drag, I'm going to write it weird. I'm going to write it at the bottom, and that's not very well described. This is basically going to be a couple of very quick bass drums before this snare drum. Now, the feet are not as clever as the hands. So we're trying to achieve ba, bass, bass, snare, da-da-da. Now, chances are, if you haven't been playing drums very long, your foot will not be happy with that. You should be able to achieve that on a pedal or on the floor. Yes, you will look a bit crazy doing that in the house, tapping your foot on the floor 2 times quickly, but it's a really cool little thing. So anyway, if I play the whole 8-beat with my little bubba before my last snare, it sounds like this. Maybe you wouldn't do that every single bar. Maybe you would, I don't know, maybe you're playing lots of beat, lots of beat, lots of beat, and this is the last bar before a big chorus or something. So let's make this last one even more special. We can put our cymbal back in, but I'm going to circle it and make it a crash. So now I've got... So this was previously just a normal snare drum, but now it's got a little thickener to make it all beautiful, and it comes with a crash to make it sound all huge. It's a proper feature now. So the song is just going along normal, 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 but we're coming up with a chorus after 4. 1, 2. Oh, the fun you can have with drags, I tell you what. One more idea before I leave you. This is really common. I am going to get rid of that one. I'm going to put that back to normal. So what do we have now? Normal 8-beat again. Now I'm going to put the drag here, just before the second bass drum. Boom and cha and bida boom di cha di. Now this isn't going to be as explosive and exciting. It's just going to smoothen the entrance into this bass drum. Here it is without that drag. Normal. Now I'll stick it in. Here I go. Hear that? If you know the band Oasis. They do a lot of that. A little bit of that. Very indie type of sounding thing to do. Softens it up. And it really makes it into something much more special. Right? Without it, it's just a normal bit of cake. But with this fella in, it's got a beautiful bit of icing on it. There you have it, my friends. This is a drag. And those were a few ideas of how to incorporate that into beat playing. As always, be creative, try your own things, and make sure you have the basics very strong before you try and get fancy with it. Loads of fun to be had there. Okay, thank you very much for watching and listening. That is Drags in a Beat. The end. Bye.